After completing his BTech in 1980, he went for his personal business and then he started going for military. He was in Indian military in the training period. After 6 months of his training period, he pursued higher education in MS electrical engineering and simultaneously he went for ATT laboratories in 1880 in after 1980 and now in 2020 he is the director of ATT laboratory. Hats off to you, sir. Gaurav, are you audible?
Yeah, sir, I'm audible.
Okay. Is it fine, sir? Working? Shall we proceed with
Yeah.
the questions?
First of all, let me thank you all first. Okay. It's a pleasure for me. And basically, I'm remembering every moment of MIT at this moment for myself and really enjoying it. First of all, many, many thanks to you all.
Thank you, sir. It's
And
our pleasure, sir.
it's a it's an emotional moment for me because MIT was one of the best time I had in my life, and every time is good, but obviously that has a special meaning at that time. And thanks to all my teachers, thanks to all the MIT staff who made our life there very very good. As a matter of fact, with all the arts here and there, but we had good time. And most of us from our batch and for even for a later batch from MIT, most of the students have done very well. I mean, when I see the MIT alumni list today and where the students from MIT are, it's a matter to be proud. But there's always a next mile, so we always should try for something better and better. And with that, again, thank you, Sakib, Gaurav, and to the all of MIT students and whoever else is on this meeting for giving me your time. And let's talk whatever you want to talk. It's an open forum. I will be mixing Hindi and English because sometime when you talk to your motherland folks, your mother tongue comes out.
Okay.
So I will be mixing the two. It's yours. Go ahead.
Okay. So starting with the first question, sir, from my side. From MIT in 1975, then an army officer, trainee, followed by masters from USA in triple EMS, and then being director of ATT Laboratories now in New Jersey. Every stage must have its own journey and story in itself, sir, no doubt. Which was the part that you cherished the most?
Wow, that's a hard question because every moment was a good moment.
Yeah.
Okay, and every moment has its own challenge. But I'll go with MIT first. MIT definitely we had good time. Whatever I learned a lot at MIT from education point of view as well as life point of view. That how do you live in a society where that much diverse opinions are there, diverse things to do are there, but you excel through that. You live in that, live with the people with where you are fighting, but at the same time next day we're friends. So MIT was one of the greatest. And I will just give you each stage what is the most important thing I learned. In MIT, I learned the most important that how do you live with a very diverse competing ideas where you were ready to kill each other, but at the end you become friend and you work together. That was the most basic learning I had at MIT, if I say it. At Army, it definitely trained me the training that no matter how difficult moment is, keep your cools down. Keep your cools. It's very important And I'll share a story with that.
Sure.
So we used to get punished for punish means physical punishment. Run this much, crawl this much. We are like bleeding with on our elbows, on our knees, but still we are crawling in mountains and this and that. And all the officers are like training officers are yelling at you. Other than mother and sister, every abuse, every curse is a fair game. Uh, then I asked one guy, and the evening we are having drinks in parties together.
Okay.
I asked, why do you do this? Why are you guys so tough on us? So you curse us. I mean, he said, Shashi, just imagine that you became POW, prisoner of war. Obviously, people will be kicking you, people will be hitting you, people are spitting on you, and you gave your battalion's location. You killed your whole battalion because they will sell it there, they will just bomb that place, and your whole battalion is gone. So it doesn't matter. I mean, we cannot create, he said that we cannot create that situation, but we create a situation, try to create a pressure on you, momentary pressure on you, that you lose your cool, lose what you have to do the right thing. So that was one of the best learning I had at IMA, that no matter how tough it gets, still you focus on what you have to do. You don't lose the focus on that. Masters here, before going to college, I was nervous because obviously a guy from Bihar don't know how to speak English, don't know how to learn and comprehend English. But when I went to MIT, NJIT, when I saw all the other students, within 2 hours, I would say, I was 100% confident that if these guys can succeed here, nobody can stop me. But it worked out that way, and so far journey has been great. So sometimes when you go in a new environment, you would feel that, yeah, I don't know this, I don't know that. Maybe these guys know a lot better than me. They're better than me. All that. No, we are coming from MIT. I mean, we competed to get in that college. So we are a lot better than anybody else, and have that confidence. I mean, that's what I would say, and that helped me. Because when I saw everybody, I said, yeah, these guys can compete. I can survive. I will do better. And I did. Yes. It was tough for some after 3 years, but okay. Bell Lab is such a place that a lot of things what you see today in your day-to-day life, see language, telephone, all kinds of telephone systems, all the switching systems, even the surgery what you have, what you call a laparoscopic surgery, all the cameras in the front of that, those instruments. A lot of things were invented in that building, and and I worked in that building, and it was a great pleasure to see that I am with those guys who are Nobel Prize winner and had invented such a good things in. But I mean, life goes on, and if I have to sum it, our journey till now, I got 2 grandkids now, and they're the best thing in the world.
Okay.
So every stage has its own plus minus, but you always think that previous things were great, but today it's good too. It's very good.
Okay, next question to you, Gaurav.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for the
Hi, Gaurav.
opportunity. Yeah, sir. Hope you are fine, sir, in this pandemic situation.
Yes, we are. We are completely locked down. Not like Sakib, though. He hasn't gone to barber for a long time. No, we are okay.
Yeah, sir, he's too busy. Yeah,
My area is a high contaminated zone, so I can't step out.
luckily I am still
Good
safe,
thing to do.
sir.
Go ahead, Gaurav.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Sir, my first question from Team Moxie. the technical club of MIT Muzaffarpur. As a fast growing technology where everything is getting digitalized, with compared to IT industry where results are very often rapid or instant. For example, the students of electrical or electronics and communication background or any other core branch sometimes feels that it's very challenging to withstand. What are your views and how this problem can overcome?
I mean, it is fast changing, but at the same time, you have fast information coming to you too. You have access to everything what's happening in the world. It is not in our time that we didn't know what's happening outside MIT. That was our maximum news comes from a newspaper or some or maybe a radio, but you have access to everything. So it is changing, but fundamentals what we learned and at MIT gives you a way to learn something. Whatever you learn at MIT, it is not the one which is the final thing you will be doing, but MIT gives you a way to learn new things. So, for example, if you want to talk about what technologies and what these days will prevail in coming years, from employment point of view or from research point of view. So, if you think about it, in 2000, a lot of Indian people, Indian students came to 2000K. All the software change and date change and all that. That was the biggest boom for IT industry. Then now things are changing very fast. But think about how many software today are open source, which is available to you to download on your computer or PC, which was not then there. Okay, so if anything you can work in an AI area, data science, security. Security, it will be a big thing, but normally security jobs, you have to know a lot. And just not the application, the domain, but beyond application, you have to do the network and everything. So eventually, if anyone can work their way to security jobs, there are a lot of tools are also available for scanning the code and all that. But these are the main areas which will, and it is not limited to computer science or electrical engineering. All the AI kind of applications are happening in civil engineering. AI and robotics is happening. Automation is happening in mechanical engineering, and that all together is the growth area. So, for example, if the manufacturing gonna go in higher in India, if it's gonna grow in India, then one has to think that automation has to be there. Without automation, you cannot compete in the world. So automation, AI, data science, security, these areas will be, but whatever you are learning today, those are the fundamentals for that. I mean, that's the area I will focus, and I will try to do whatever I can in those areas. Every area is good.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for sharing your views. I think a Y2K problem gave India a big opportunity, and now our IT industry is one of the top industries in the world. All the projects are outsourced in India.
That is
And yeah, and talking about automation industry, if it will happen, India will be the manufacturing king in the world. Thank you, sir. And yeah, Sir Shakib, sir, please go ahead, sir, for the next question.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Gaurav.
Gaurav. Sir, the next question from me is MIT is always known for its golden era. The era after it was built until the era of 20 or 1980s, 1990s, 1995s. Where do you think, sir, the difference in the student and education strategies from the MIT in 1995 to MIT in 2020 changed?
Well, everybody says that my era was the golden era, but if somebody said that my era 1975 batch was the golden era, then you are the diamond. Okay, just think about it. Amount of information what you have today, the access to the things what you have today, we did not. Today, when we were in college, we didn't even know. We knew where America is, but the point is we didn't know much about it. Now today, sitting in your home, you are talking folks from America. You will get every information is available to you. So never think that those days were the better days. No, better days always come. You have to make it. Uh, I would say that your era is a lot better era. You have a lot more opportunities. Look at the employments. Look at the things which you have today. What did we have? We had a circuit board, all the PSUs, and maybe engineering services. That's about it. But today, look at how much opportunity you have. From education point of view, there is definitely a difference that teachers what we had. Most of the teachers were by choice. They did not. That was their first choice that they want to be a teacher. And we did have very good teachers. I mean, some of you might have heard about RCP, Ramchandra Prasad, math teacher. Uh, you must have heard in mechanical engineering, B.N. Sarma. Uh, there are a lot of K.C. Jha, S.D. Chaube. I mean, I can name it. Everybody, yeah, B.P. Sahni. All these are great teachers, and they chose teaching their first choice. Nowadays, again, you do have good teachers now, which has more information.
Yes, sir.
Um, but that may not be their first choice. I mean, I can see that. But teachers or not teachers, you have access to a lot of things. You can do things on your own. Nobody has to teach you that okay, download this particular open source software and practice on your own. Learn about your own. So you have access to a lot of things. And teaching, one thing I would also suggest, go to Coursera, and I think there's one from MIT and Harvard called EDX or something like that.
Yes, sir.
A lot of free
EDX.
courses are available. Any area you choose, uh, go for that. And if any help we can do on that, let me know too.
Sure, sir. Gaurav, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Continue with your next question, Gaurav.
Thank you, sir. I think the most important role in any period or any era is play the research and innovation happening at any campus. And talking about Shashi Sinha Sir, he is from Bell Laboratories, one of the best laboratories known for its research and innovations. I have recently go through an article where someone is claiming that in every year, 1,000 US patents has been filed. So, what are the opportunities? Yeah, how can we excel the research and innovation at our MIT so that we will become one of the top premier institutes of India, and even if we more succeed, we will be the top and premier institute of the world. So, please share your views.
See, research has, I mean, I personally don't have much experience on research, but research has many components. One, but the main component, like in when there's a need, you innovate. Okay, so at this time, look around that what is the most important thing uh, that can help any factory or any humanity or anything. Think about it that, and research doesn't have to be only electronics or anything. Research in social sciences, research in society how to help. Okay, so if you can figure out a issue which is close to your heart and you give your heart to it, then you can figure out how to resolve that. That's the research. And at this point, I mean, main thing is that try to figure out what is the issue where you live, how it can help. I mean, there are a lot of robotic things will come. There are a lot of the what do you call waste management thing will come. Waste management in India, it has to be dealt with. Um, I'll share a story with you. Here, Mr. KP Singh, he's from BIT Sindri. He has a company called Halltech, and he's a real billionaire. I mean, multi-billion worth. His company is a private company, and he has started working and has many patents in nuclear waste management. So think about it. These things, and today, I mean, he's one of the big industrialists here, and I know him personally, and he just figured out in his field. He went for electrical engineering, and today he is a big. He has a big company for nuclear waste management. So there will be opportunities in these areas. Anything you can figure out, you can think of it. I think that's a great thing to do.
Yeah, sir. Thank you, sir. I think wherever there is a problem, there is an opportunity, and when there is an
Right.
opportunity, we can innovate and we can create. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Exactly. Very
Uh,
well said. Very well said. Yeah.
okay, sir. Now, Shakib, sir, please proceed, sir.
Okay, thank you, Gaurav. Sir, being a college football team goalkeeper, a sports personality of the college, we can imagine your young traits, sir. Which were the most happening moment of your stay in MIT?
Hmm. When we were in college at that time, SK Medical College had the best team, and they had players from who had represented country. One guy represented in high school India representation. One guy was from Malaysia. One guy was from a state representative. I still remember his name, Shafur from Kerala. Um, so and district players, all kinds of players. They were a very superior team to us. And we went to play at SKMC ground football. And it was a little bit raining, it was a little bit wet, but it was okay. And all 90-minute game happened in our field. We're like, we're not any way to compare to them. And but one goal from, I mean, I don't know how many goals I saved that day. I was think like I was playing alone.
Okay.
But one goal from the almost half field was kicked, lobbed in the SKMC side, and it went in the goal. That was the only ball had gone even out or in the goal at that side. That was my best moment in football. But I mean, it was amazing. It always gives me thrill when I remember that. And it's a, what should I say? At those days, there are a lot of cultural things also happening at MIT. We used to host Dasitkoff Damodar Sinha Intertechnical College football tournament. So it's to me, games, playing, competing in between the class. When we beat our senior 74 batch, they used to be the college best team. we beat them. I mean, we celebrated. We basically had like a Diwali kind of. We had crackers, we had candles, everything in our hostels. So those things are very healthy competition, and I really enjoyed it. And today, when I talk to my seniors in 74 batch, we all talk and laugh about it. But at that time, like, we were competing like anything, and all very well disciplined things. So I am pretty happy about that, that I was in a sports, and I continue to enjoy sports even today. Even today, I played football here till last 10 years, but lately I have not. But I try to play table tennis, billiards, or maybe sometime tennis also lately. But the sports is a good thing. What it does, take it in today's context. Most There's a lot of discussion going on about Sushant Singh Rajput.
Yes, sir.
And what a sports does to you, that it makes you learn how to take a loss and bounce from there. Think about it, when you're 1 goal, 2 goal down, you are about to lose. How hard we used to play, how hard we used to do that. Okay, let's win. Doesn't matter. Halftime we're down, but after halftime we will win. How you regroup, even you are down. It, and if you lose, you lose. That's fine. Next match we'll see. We'll win next one. So in life, sports has a lot of value. One, it gives you how to take win or lose, how to keep trying hard, and also it gives you a way of camaraderie, especially the team sports. You do learn how to work with each other. So I always encourage people to play sports, any kind of team sports. I have tried to 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 say to my kids, to my friends, that let's play something, and we do. Even today, I mean, I get together with my friends and play table tennis and billiards or things like that. I have in my basement. We play it right at home. So it's a good thing to do. I don't know whether I answered your question, Sakib, or not, but
Yeah, sir. We
the
got
only
it.
thing I say, that sports has a great place in your life.
Okay.
Do we have to dial for the second thing, or are we okay here right now?
No, we are okay here, sir. We got the gift for more 40 minutes from Zoom side. That's
Okay.
so good of Zoom. Okay, Gaurav, over to you.
Thank you, sir. I think, sir, the sports give us a fighting spirit and the strategic planning that we have. Sir, how you have strategized and planned your success, your strategy, such that to become from Muzaffarpur Institute of Technology to IMA Dehradun to director at Bell Laboratories. So please share your strategy. What your key weapons to fighting the odd one times, the struggling times.
See, what I do in my own life, that I always have a plan B and plan C. So you never get discouraged if your plan A fails. When I came out of college, I did not want to go anywhere outside Bihar or Patna. I wanted to stay in Patna, that's about it. I never applied for any job in any PSUs or anywhere. Tried in engineering services once, and I appeared in 2 or 3 subjects, and I decided it's not my cup of tea. Luckily, what happened that I went to this SSB, Service Selection Board, the Navy, Army, and Air Force selection. And that was to get a free ticket to go to Bangalore, stay near MG Road, have good time, come back. But in all three armed services, luckily I got selected. And only thing I have to say that their selection process is very, very good. Someday we can talk about it, how scientific that is. Because out of 27 in Bangalore, 2 were selected. Out of 45, 1 was selected in Allahabad, and out of 36 were selected for Air Force in Banaras. So that was my always plan B. I tried business, and I didn't succeed. I did very bad. Now I look back and think that, okay, what I could have done better. But then it happened that I went to Army. From there, I met my wife and got married, came here. When I came here, it was tough. It was tough. I mean, I don't know how to speak English and understand and comprehend. But again, uh, strategy is that don't give up. Don't give up in the sense, plan A failed, so what? I have plan B, and work on it. Always have something. I mean, today we feel very confident in US that anything happens, we have a back home India. We always try to save and be strong and help the community. Here I have. You have to feel good. The other thing is to have a plan A, B, C, and the other thing what you're doing, you have to feel good about it. Okay, if you don't feel good about it, you won't do well. Today here I got involved in a organization called Bajana. I started with 40-50 people. Today is 500-600 people. Do come physically. Subscription is almost 2,500 or 3,000. So and we do a lot of charity work in India, here, all that. So the strategy is have plan B and do feel good about it, what you are doing. If you aim too high and you fail, don't get disenchanted. It's okay. Failing is a part of life. Regroup and start again. And that's the way I have felt. I mean, a lot of in organizations, I always wanted it to grow more in terms of responsibility and position and post. But that didn't happen that much. So what? Then I had horizontal growth. Horizontal growth in career is also a very important thing in terms of today, from network to the system ownership to the system development, all that I have done. So if you don't grow vertically, don't stay there too long. Grow horizontally to learn something else, move around. So those things do help. That don't get disenchanted. Whatever you got, you are better off than a lot more, many more people in the world. I mean, that's the principle I have in my life.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your words. Sagib, sir, please proceed for the next
Okay,
question.
thank you, Gaurav. So, next one. After several decades of stay in USA, sir, what is the major difference you observed between the students and education system in USA and that prevailed in India?
Wow. I mean, education system in India, if you look at up to high school, in the good schools, it's a lot better compared to here, or at least competing. In US, one thing is very good, that up to high school, it is free, and it's not exactly free, it's paid by the taxpayers' money, we pay school tax. If you own a building, or when you live rent an apartment, that apartment building is paying to a school tax, and it's free to everybody. And I'm not saying that American high school system is the best, but it is, depending on the area, depending on the teacher, depending on the students, it is pretty decent, and it's available to everybody. And after that, going to college is very expensive, and it is by your choice. That's the major difference.
Okay.
It is by choice that now you're going to invest hard-earned money of yours or your father's or your family's. Do I want to go and do that? If I don't, then I try something else. And most of the people doing a plumbing job or doing a, cleaning job or anything, they still have a pretty okay life. Dignity of labor is there. So I earn, a lot of people who come to cut my grass, they might be earning more than me. So that is okay. So point I'm trying to make is that education after high school is by choice. You are investing your time and money, and you definitely want ROI on that. Return on investment has to be there. So that's one major difference I find. That most of the students who go to college here, I would say 80%, 90%, they do want to make something out of it. So in India, we have a lot of free education. I mean, I paid, you guys are paying this maybe similar amount of money, 15, 20 rupees a month at MIT.
Yes, sir.
So for some people, they stayed there for 10 years. They failed and they stayed 10 years, but some did very well. Most of them did very well. But some just made a house there. I mean, they made a club there to live there, which you will not see it here, because every semester you stay, you have to pay. So making it, looking at the return on investment point of view, makes the education system a little bit more involved here from a student point of view. Where in India, sometimes you go to college just for sake of going to college, but your interest is not there, and that's the way I see that difference. And other difference I see between colleges in India and here, that is, we always try to have free education, free education, free education. And and it's obvious in India also, when we were in college, we never cared about Ramaiah or Manipal. And look today, where Manipal is and where Ramaiah is. It has become one of the top colleges in the world, right? I mean, Manipal has given 2 CEOs of the largest companies. So you got to invest in education, and society has to invest, and we have to invest. And if you are investing, you will work hard for return on that. You're just going for the sake of going, that's a different story. Most of the universities here have a lot more resources compared to India. But today in the internet world, it is becoming easier for students all over the world to get to the very similar kind of access to the reading materials, to the lab results, to the theses, to the papers, and all that. So only thing I wish in India, it can change that dignity of labor improves, and people who really want to go to college, they go to college. People who don't want to go to college, they can have a better living without going to college. And if once that happens, things will become better. And it's not just the money. It is not the money only. I mean, I know there are some chai shops or some small shops in my mahalla there make better money than a lot of people who go to work for different companies there. But you want to go and work for a company, you're going to do that. But you don't want to stay home and have a small shop. So dignity of labor has to be there. Once that happens, I think things will become better, which is a hard thing to make it happen. That's my view. I mean, that's my personal view.
Was true, sir. Your words were deeply true that in India we get too much of free education and too much of parents wish that it has to be medical or engineering. Still in India prevails the top two. Okay, over to you, Gaurav.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true.
Thank you, sir. But I guess the strategies of China in making the manufacturing king is the engineering is by excelling the engineering sector. Okay. So let's move on to another question, sir. Uh, you have experience of more than 35 to 40 years in the industry. So, which is more difficult or more challenging? Managing a technical or managing a robots or managing a machine or rather managing a person employee? Which is more difficult, sir?
Everything has its own challenge. Some, if you're dealing with machine, it is up to you only. Major portion is up to you. How you study, how you read, what you do. If you're dealing with a group, then it depends on the group. And sometime for us, dealing with machine comes a little easier because you take the manual and read through it 2 3 times. You read it, you know everything about it. I will give you my one personal experience. In 1987, I started working in the satellite services area of AT&T. So my boss gave me the assignment, and I read through the manual, opened the equipment, learned, measure things here, there, figured out everything within a month or two. But the role was to support satellite services all over the country and basically support technically to the technicians uh, that how if the service goes down, what to do, what not to do, how to maintain that. And when you look at, and I used to go all over the country. I mean, pretty much every major town in US, I have been there to support the services. But when you look in US, every area has a different characteristics. New York has the most aggressive people, and Spokane, Washington has the most docile people. So how you talk, I have seen only my brothers or my father talking to their employees. And here, it was a different tone. Like, say you want to say, can I give me a glass of water, or tighten that screw. You don't say tighten that screw. You say, can you tighten that? Can you please do that? So it's like a request versus order. So my mentor was a guy named Tony Mateji, and I used to go to his room and I used to tell him, Tony, put the thing in a speaker, and then I would learn how he's talking. So managing people, definitely you have to get to their local way of doing things, and one should pay attention to learn. Every day we are learning. Every day you have to figure out what to say, how to say. And trust me, once you leave MIT, your score, your all the education background, what you got there, that will get you a job. But your life in job will depend upon how you write, how you speak, how you interact with others. So your soft skill becomes more important skill when you are dealing with more people. So that's why I call hard skill is your technical skill, and the soft skill, it becomes more important. and it's important that you pay attention to it. You know a lot about this machine or this program, or you can do this problem, that problem. That's fine, but you solved it also. But in that process, if you become arrogant and piss off your boss or your colleague, it didn't do good to you. And the guy who don't know what to do, but he didn't piss off his boss. He didn't piss off his colleagues. He didn't look down upon his colleagues. He will do better in long term, because one mechanical problem or a program problem came and it went away. But if you hurt somebody's feeling, they will remember longer, and it's hard to fix that. It's harder to fix that. So my advice to you all is that when you go to job, uh, learn to improve your soft skill. That includes writing, and that we lack very, very much. I mean, we do not know how to write. When I was developing services with international Japan and Korea and all that. So one guy came to me and said, Shashi, I want to be on your team. I said, sure. I said, what will you do? He said, anything you tell me, I'll write it up. I said, great. And he was a Princeton graduate. And he said, I will write it. And I will explain him the whole architecture or something on a paper, just to scratch it down. And he will go and write down the whole thing so nicely that I would never have written. So writing is a very important skill. So as speaking, and so as your behavior and your soft skills towards your colleagues and your formation. I mean, that's the way I see that every area has its own challenge, but one is within your control. One is within your control, but other has impact on that too. That's the way I say it.
Thank you, sir. I mean, these words means a lot to the young generations which will be going into the industry. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your kind words.
You're welcome.
Sakib, sir, please go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Gaurav. Thank you, sir. Now, after these words of sir regarding soft skill, I hope junior watching this show will be more intended toward the soft skill going in IT building. Go and attend, it's important. Okay, coming back. Sir,
Yes.
there is a stereotype that these 4 years of engineering or any life, undergraduate life, basically it's more in engineering life, that you have to live it. Carefree, careless, you just live it. These 4 years are not going to come back. Is living carefree somewhere we have to pay it in the future, sir?
Carefree. Carefree is a term that you always try to make it. Always try to make it carefree. So when we were in college, we were carefree because nobody was dependent upon us. I mean, emotionally, yes, my parents, my brothers, my friends and family, were dependent upon that, but nobody was dependent upon me. Maybe for very little things, they were dependent, okay, Shashi can do this, Shashi can do that. But as you grow, you get married, then you have a responsibility of 2 families. Then you have kids, then you have responsibility of your kids. So one thing, I mean, I have always tried to do that, make yourself, make it the situation that if you're not here, still things go on. Emotionally, you cannot do much, but financially and physically, and even emotionally, you can do a little bit. So carefree is a constant making. It is not that in MIT you have a different level of responsibility, maybe emotional and very little physical responsibility towards your family and to you. But as you grow, your responsibility grows. So how do you take care of, try to make it carefree every stage of your life? There's nothing called carefree 100%, but you try to minimize that. Okay, when you were a student, you studied and all that. Then when you got married, you make sure that your spouse can live a decent life even if you're not there. Then when you got the kids, make sure that their education, their things are taken care. So you take a higher insurance at that time. And when you get married, develop your spouse that she can do a job, she can go outside the house and do whatever is needed if you are not there. Because dependency, relationship just because of dependency is not the best thing. I'm going a little personal philosophy here, but I definitely feel that you have to make everybody strong around you, that they can do things on their own. And they should not be 100% dependent upon you. So you develop your spouse, husband or wife, and then you take, when you have kids, take insurance. If you're not there, at least they're taken care. As you grow older, you make kids do on their own most of the decisions and everything, and then you reduce the insurance also. You don't have to pay too much because now you have enough savings, and your wife and your kids don't need your money. The only thing they need is emotional thing. So so that's the way. Carefree is a very, I mean, I take it as very constant making. I always work on it, that if I'm not around, how will my family will survive? How will my friends will survive? How my society will survive? You always think about it. So MIT has a different level of carefreeness, but as you grow, you can make yourself carefree as much you could. I mean, that's my definition of carefree life.
Sure, that's too true. Over to you, Gaurav. Thank you, sir, for such a lovely description of carefree. Over to you, Gaurav.
Thank you, sir. Sir, we fails many times from the laboratories where where the results not getting correct, and I mean you being in the top laboratory organizations, and the failure is one of the prime factors that we face. Uh, Sir, but one thing is important, that we have to be stay motivated. Sir, how you balance yourself such that you stay motivated and get out the best results from the problem you face it? And please guide us how the young generation, which have somehow less patience, will tackle this out.
Motivation is a very personal thing. Everybody gets motivated by something, but you have to keep whatever motivates you. If you make it that motivational factor ethical and beneficiary to others, be selfish. I'm not saying that don't give up everything and go and live in a jungle or something like that. No, I'm not saying that. Make yourself strong, but you also make your surrounding at work, at home, more stronger. And that one thing motivates you, that, okay, I'm going to compete with Gaurav. I knew these things and I taught him that. He came 2 years later, joined the organization as 1 year later. I taught him, and now he thinks he knows everything. All right, Gaurav, that much I taught you, but I'm gonna add more to myself. So if you keep improving your surrounding, and you have a desire to know more or go up, that will motivate you. Because I want to be better than Gaurav all the time. Yeah, this much I taught him, but if I didn't teach him, he stayed below, then I don't have a motivation to, how do I improve myself? I always think that way. A lot of people hold information in our nations and don't do this, don't do that. I said, what the heck? I can do better than you. I taught you this much, but I'll add more to you. That's one way I think. Sometimes it hurts also that you get promoted faster than me, and I taught you, but you get promoted faster than me. So what? It's okay. At the end of the life, it all sums up. It's a zero sum game. Okay, that's one thing motivates me. Other thing is, and you have to think in organizations when you are there. For example, you were at MIT right now, and you solved a problem, and you taught me, Shashi, this is the way to solve this. Okay, I learned that much. But you also got the little bit more practice while you were teaching me. So you became more sure. You became better than me. If you didn't have taught me and I would not have asked stupid questions, you didn't know how to answer that. So making your surrounding better always pulls you up. In India, our many societies, we try to pull other people down. I try to pull up and then get top of that. Okay, that's one way. Second, uh, motivation. If you are doing something good for your surroundings, your society, um, people, if you do something good, you get positive feedback that you did, and praising each other, which sometimes we lack a lot. You did a good thing, I must praise that, because praising each other makes you next time you'll do better. If I put you down, then I'm going down with you too. But I praise that Gaurav is great, or Sakib is great, or MIT is great. I never let anybody say in front of me that Bihar is down, or Bihari this, Bihari that. No, I'm very proud Bihari, and I say it very openly everywhere. And there are a lot of good things we have. So you have to feel confident about what you have and keep on improving. I mean, that's the way I think. I mean, a lot of people I hear in India, they go outside of Bihar and they don't want to be recognized as Bihari. No, I want to be recognized as Bihari. Yeah, this moment I might be down, I might be below you, but I will come back. I will come back. I will come back on top of you. And that's the way you have to think. If you pull you up, you're gonna up. If you pull somebody down, you're gonna go down with that person. That's one way I motivate myself. I try to do for the better for others, and I get a positive feedback, and that makes me feel better, and I do fine. It's not philosophy. It's just my way of doing things.
It was too
I
true.
don't know whether I answer your question or not, but that's
Yes, sir. So that means helping others for for inner happiness. And when I got happy, and I will be more looking on myself, that how can be improve myself, and that's the, I think, your main strategy for the
main is,
motivation.
yeah, very well said. And main thing is that if you run a feedback loop of positive things, it will get better, right? So if I do something better for the society, it makes me do better next time even better, or for myself. So I never say that you make yourself weak, you give away everything and do this, do that. No, you have a comfortable, commanding things to do. In that, you accommodate others also, up to a certain extent. You don't have to give up everything. But improve others, you will improve yourself. Thanks, Gaurav. Thanks.
Too modest, your
Thank you,
words
sir.
are. Means when you speak, we are just staring at you. Oh, wow, the words are coming.
Yeah, sir, very true.
Okay, Gaurav, any other question? Or
Yes, sir.
shall we pick up from the audience?
Yeah, so just a last question.
Okay, yeah, sure, proceed.
Uh, Probably this is my personal problems, basically personal technical problem.
Yeah,
So I think
good with that.
yes, sir. I think many of the peoples are good at very many things. So how can I find that what the fields are good, or what fields are not good, which suits me, and I will be better in that. Yeah, how to identify myself that my goals, yeah, that my passions are aligned to that what I am working. How to identify these things? And the second question, and the second part of this question, should we have to be multitasking or a single tasking? Yes, sir. These are the two combined questions.
Okay, I'll give you my personal experience on what to do. So when I was taking my son Samir to college, I asked him, "What do you want to do? What will be your major?" He said, "Dad, I will figure it out. Give me 1 year, I will figure it out." And I had a very heated conversation with him in the car. Me, my wife, Nita, and Samir were in the car, and very ugly conversation. And because I was very upset that he's 18-year-old, he doesn't know what he wants to do in life. Finally, I gave up. I said, "Okay, you decide." And today, after I mean, he's a doctor. He's a emergency medicine doctor, doing very well, makes lots of his own decisions, and always consults with me and keeps me informed. So, what to do has to do with what you want in your life. So, I never told Samir that go and be a doctor. But when he was in high school, I was dealing with Wipro and a large outsourcing, at least 300 plus people were hiring in Wipro. And he saw, and the people getting laid off here. So he saw that in engineering, there will be a lot of layoff and all that. So choose a profession where he cannot be competing with, he will not be competing with foreign people. But I did not even tell him that. I just asked that decide what you want to be in your life, how you want to lead your life. You can take education major, you can take history major, you can take music major, you can take medicine, you can take engineering, whatever you want. But if you take history major, maximum you will become a teacher or a professor, and this is the percentage number of percent of people lifestyle is. If you take a engineering major, this will be this kind of job or this kind of compensation or lifestyle you will have. If you do this, you will have. So having a desire that what you want to do, and then measure your capability, that what you can, how you will achieve that, and if you can find a right capability to achieve the right goal, that's the way to choose measure. I mean, I these days I hear a lot of things that a lot of people blame on parents. That parent wanted me to be engineer. No, what did you want to be? How, if you didn't want to be engineer, how do you want to lead your life? What will you do in your life? And don't ask parents for money for that. Or you figure it out after 18, 20 years old. You figure out how you want to live your life and be happy in that. If you want to be a labor, fine. They have pretty decent life, not bad. Start enjoying that. If you want to live having a big car or bigger, yeah, then you have to learn how to earn that. So having basically what I'm telling you here in one sentence, that so figure it out, that what you want to do in your life, what kind of lifestyle you want for yourself, and then measure your capabilities, that how can I achieve that. Parents say, other people say, that's fine, but say if I would have stayed that, okay, I'm football khelenge din bhar, kuch padhai likhai nahi karenge, the capability to become Pele? No. If I had, then that could have been a great thing to do. So you figure it out, what's your capability, what you want to do, how you want to lead your life. Forget parents and brother and sister. It's up to you how to enjoy that. So that's the way I choose the things to do. And I think I have done on my own also. I really thank my father. He has never insisted that you do this or do that. He always let me choose whatever I want. I wanted to do business. I was doing a truck business after MIT degree, but he didn't like it. But he never said no. So it's your choice. I mean, you make up your mind. Second question was that. Remind me the second question.
So the second question basically the multitasking
Yeah,
concept. Yeah, how to.
there are recent research. As a matter of fact, I was reading some book or listening to some talk somewhere. There are recent research that all rounders also do a lot better. No, percentage of all rounders do better in life, because if you choose only one thing, then you have to be very good at that, and it also limits other part of your earlier life. So, and that's what I meant by, in a company, in an organization, horizontal growth. I mean, there are times where there'll be a cutback. Okay, if you have experience in network, you can go to network. If you have experience in sales, you can go to sales. You have experience in development, you can go to development. So having a diverse kind of all-rounder kind of thing gives you a little bit more, I would say, stability. It does. At least it has done in my case. Very recently, I changed job, and that was based upon my different areas of expertise, and I'm enjoying it. I mean, I used to own all the technical systems and everything in AT&T. Now I am in a business development area, in a business operations area, as a matter of fact. So because I have done those network things also, so it's very easy for me to understand how the software defined wide area network works and how the customer use it and all that. So if I have to choose, I will go for all rounder, because I am not a person of that high intensity educational or intellect. So that's the reason I go for all rounder. That will be my way of saying, thinking.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Mhm.
Okay, so shall we wind up, because we are lost with the connections with the audience? Poor Orga, do you have any audience question?
Yes, sir. I have recently got a question from WhatsApp.
Okay,
That was quite surprising. The audience are still following and waiting. Sir,
okay.
one question from one of my junior. Uh, he said, we are facing a worst condition of unemployment, which is going to worse in upcoming years due to COVID-19 outbreak. So there is only one best option available, that is to look towards innovation and startup. But in our college, there is not any incubation facilities available. Is it possible that my efforts of our seniors who are working in country or abroad, we may set up a primary incubation center?
I think that can be done. That should be done. I mean, incubation, if you have, depending on what. Let's talk about simple things. The least investment is software areas, and you have a lot of things available to you. I mean, give you example. Very recently, I used a software where for remote meetings, like everybody writing their notes. I forget the name of that software. But point is that it was a software where you and I are meeting on audio, and I can write my notes, and you can write your notes, and somebody else can write their note, and we collaborate all of that. It's a collaboration tool. So if and trust me, all these things, even the Android, were written by only one guy, right? He
Yes, sir.
lived in the office, and obviously, I mean, uh, the Android OS was written by one guy, and so there are a lot of things you can do, and you have a very easily available information to you. So today, amount of software we have open source, if you can figure out something to do in areas where it can improve anything, any area, security, operations, management of that, that's a good innovation. But innovation has to come from your own hard work, and you come up with some level of idea that, hey, this is the thing I want to do. I'm sure that you will find a buyer for that. I'm sure you will find a collaborator for that. So that automation, I mean, every area has automation. Every area has AI. Every aspect of our life. If you figure out what to do with that, uh, definitely, if there is a viable idea, there are people who can connect with you, and some of us can help you on that too, connecting with people. So it is. When I was in college at MIT, there was an incubation center opened by government, and there was a building built, and make this physically mechanical things and all that. Somebody opened an industry there also. A company, forget the name of that person. But those things are past. Now we have innovation is more in software, in AI, in robotics, and all that, which can be done on a PC. And if you have idea, I'm sure that you will find a buyer. I'm sure we can connect those persons.
Thank you, sir. I hope.
Sir, one more question, sir, from the audience side.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I think uh, this question has been asked by some of the professors of MIT Muzaffarpur. He said, "I have seen students of MIT has great potential, but I see students from here and Bihar are more to look for government jobs, which open in very a few number, but not look for jobs in research and development. What would you like to say them to look towards this horizon?" I think this question is asked from ASIS, Department of Information Technology. He has been closely observing the students of MIT.
I don't know what to say, SSG, but the point here is in Bihar or in India, definitely the nuisance power of government officials give them a little bit extra sense of power and extra sense of security. And once you get in, you are in. No matter what you do, you are there. In private sector or innovation and research or private sector, you have to be constantly producing it. Okay. So a lot of people ask me, are you in a government job or a private job? And in US, government jobs are not the best jobs. Government jobs are taken by the second grade students, not the first grade students. Okay. So in US, the private jobs are considered a lot better. Uh, And in India also now, I have seen, I have met, as a matter of fact, I met one guy in Tech Mahindra once. I was having a meeting in Delhi, that he was IAS and he resigned and he joined Tech Mahindra. Tech Mahindra's chairman, Vineet Nair, used to be in IRS. He resigned and joined. So there are a lot of people who think that way in Bihar, but private jobs are also pretty decent in good companies and gives a open potential to you that how you prove it, how we do better, how you improve the whole company. And trust me, nobody is doing mercy. Okay, nobody is doing charity. That a private company, a company owner, Tata is doing charity, or Anand Mahindra is doing charity. No, you have to keep producing. You produce, then they get benefit, and that's what you are there. So that is the difference between the two. Now, how to make it more appealing to people? I mean, in private jobs, you are not time bound. You are not restricted by that. After 2 years you will get a promotion, after 1 year you will get a pay increase, and that too, whatever everybody gets is the same thing. But if you have the talent, you can move up, move to different companies, move to different countries, whatever you want to. So I say that if you have the desire to work hard and do something better, uh, private jobs will allow you to do that. It will give you the freedom to do that. I mean, I have few friends who are IRS, IAS, IPS, all are retired now, but I have many friends who are in these very powerful positions. But at the end of the day, they had decent life, and I enjoyed their power too. But the point is, when they see what we do, they see that we produce more for the society. So, I mean, my way to encourage it that only one thing I will say, that in private jobs, the sky is the limit if you have the talent, if you have the guts, and you have the desire to do it. In government job, no matter what happens, uh, it's very time bound and very guaranteed, and you do have some nuisance power. Here, but here you have productive power. If you go to today to Anand Mahindra and say that I can make an engine which will be more efficient, this that, and if you can prove it, he'll give you a whole division that go and manufacture that. You will do that. So I mean, here you can build your empire, build your power by constructive things in private jobs. In government, you can build it by getting along with Netaji or getting along with your whichever way you do. It's a different way. Okay. So personally, I feel that you can produce more for the society and yourself in private job compared to government jobs. But you will be more comfortable and easygoing life in government job. So it's your choice.
Great, sir. Totally. Okay, Gaurav,
Yeah.
any more questions or shall I proceed?
Yeah, sir. Sure, sir.
Okay, sir. Sir, shall we wind up this?
Your choice.
Okay, sir. So, the last piece of advice from your side to whole junior, what should they do to make their life, upcoming life, more beautiful, more successful, and more carefree?
Mm. It's very important to be confident about yourself. And every moment we have in life, every situation we face, if you lose the confidence, it's hard to recover. I mean, we all have faced situations where I could have been dead, I could have been out of job. I'll share with one personal story with you.
Sure, sir.
In 1986 November, and I started working in 1985, 86 November, I did not have any money. And I had two kids. I had $200 in my bank account and $300 as on credit card already charged. And I heard about layoff, that there will be layoff. I didn't even know that in US you will get unemployment and all that. And so typical Indian way of thinking, where I came from, where I saw in the movies, that when you have any stress, have a drink. So I poured a drink and took a sip, and then I said, no, this is not the time to do this. And after taking a sip, I just took that glass and poured it in the sink. I did not drink. And that day I took a vow that I will never drink alone. And I do not drink alone, never. I'm since 1986 November. And so point I'm trying to, then next day I met my boss, and he said, Shashi, this is not the time to get nervous. Prepare your resume. I will help you inside the company, outside the company. And I learned how to deal with that at that time. And within, I would say, January, I had two jobs lined up. So it's very important that you don't lose your confidence. Don't go and play victim, that I am victim, I have a stress, this, that. No, this is what it is. This is what it is. You figure out how to enjoy that moment. You figure out. So that's one thing I would say. Don't lose your confidence in any situation, no matter how hard it is. Second, I would say utilize every information you have. Build your information network, your people network, and stay connected with all of it. Information, your knowledge, and as well as people. Because you don't know when you need where, what you'll need when. So keep increasing that. I would say that being ethical in your thought, that ethically, is this the right thing to do, is also very important. I'm not saying that I have not done wrong things. I'm not saying that I have not fought. I have not hit anybody. I have done everything right. No, I never said. But that was right for that moment. Is that ethically right thing to do? You always have to ask yourself, am I doing this ethically? Is this the right thing to do? And ethics is different for different people, but you find your own measure, whichever way you want to do. For be selfish, no doubt about it. Improve yourself, keep yourself above everybody, but think of collective improvement also. Because if your surrounding is lower, how high can you go? If your surrounding is higher, if you go above that, you go higher. So that's the philosophy of life I follow, and trust me, I have been following this for a long time. And today, thank you all that I'm able to say that in a concise way. And from job point of view, and from your professional point of view, few things I see when we come from India and Indian students and Indian workers. I mean, I deal with a lot of people from India pretty much every day in different companies. Speak clearly. I came across somebody whose phone was not right, and he said, phone is not good. I said, then whose responsibility is that? You were in a noisy situation, you were talking to somebody. If you got an interview call and you were talking to somebody in a noisy situation and the other person is not able to understand, it's not his responsibility to make you feel clear, make you speak clear. Speak slowly a little bit. In the world today, uh, it is getting dominated by business world. So speak a little slowly so other person have a chance to comprehend that. Because whatever you said, if whatever I said, if you don't listen to it, if you didn't, I didn't give you a chance to understand and comprehend that, then whatever I said, it doesn't matter, right? So speak slowly. I see that a lot in Indian students, Indian people. Uh, you will see the Americans and the good orators speak slowly. There are a lot of good orators in India. I mean, uh, trust me, but I'm talking at the job level. Some people I come across, they speak so fast that we have to tell them slow down. Uh, Improve your writing skill. As I said, that your technical skill is 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 good, and that will take you to a certain level. But after that, how you write, how you speak, um, this is all very simple things, but sometimes we don't notice how you speak, how you write. We write a lot of acronyms. Yeah, this is acronyms. Your own acronyms. You are very familiar, but I am not. The other person is not. And trust me, the course once I took uh, executive writing, the hardest thing was that they will give you a half a page and you have to do it, convey the message in three, 4 sentences. How you express more in less amount of words was the hardest thing to do, and it is hard. So writing a skill is very important. That will take you. That will be your determination, and that will determine where you go, writing and speaking. Um, Whenever you get some books on resume writing, on letter writing, there are a lot of books available, and see how they have written. Don't copy it, don't plagiarize it. In today's world, there are softwares available which will catch the plagiarizing. If you cut and paste from somewhere, and if it catches that, okay, you are plagiarizing from somewhere, it will be very detrimental to you. So get some books, improve your writing skills. I think you all will do very well. Amount of information, amount of resources you have at your fingertips now, which were not available to many people, which is still not available to many people. So I wish you all the best. And again, many thanks to you all that you gave me your time. And I'm always available. If anything I can do, I will. Just be collective in the sense that if I can do something personally, for somebody, I will. But sometimes some questions come that this job is in UK, this job is here. How can I apply on that? I mean, think of it. If everybody can apply from the whole world, you cannot. There are different ways that you can go abroad. And today, let's talk about that a little bit. If any of you have desire to study, come to US, obviously the easiest way, the way is that you get in a company and they bring you here in H1 work visa. But that is getting limited a little bit, but it still is enough that you can try to compete for that. The other thing is higher studies. you can try to get into any university here, and sometimes it seems that cost is very high, but if you choose the places where less American students wants to go, less American students want to go, then you can get a better chance of assistantship and teaching assistants or anything like that. So when I went to NJIT, I mean, there are a lot of Indian students, and most of them have some assistantship, because that was such a small college, and in an area where a lot of Native American people don't want to go. So that's one way to do it. Other way to do it, go for the big name universities, and if you can compete and you can pay for it, that's fine too. But if you want to pursue that, there are ways to do that, and I will be very happy to help. And I have the organization Bajana. There are a lot of people here who will also, I can request them to help, and the people do those things here. Anything else? Anything I missed?
No, sir, you didn't miss anything.
Yes, sir.
It was absolutely great talking to you, and approaching you was even great idea. Gaurav?
Again,
Yes, sure.
Yes, sir. Uh, I'm speechless. Your words are, matlab, it can be life changing for many of us. Many of juniors like him, very new, no, not having so much of knowledge what to do and what to not. There is a simply I can say that the glimpse of light. You are like sun that are
right.
giving us light.
Now, you all have a lot of capabilities. Just
Yes,
let's stay safe in this COVID period.
Sir.
yes, sir.
Stay calm, and it will be it will pass. It will pass, and things will be better. Things will be better.
Yes,
Yeah.
and one request from audience that they are saying, please visit our campus. We have a new guest house. Uh, yes, so please visit our campus from
जरूर आएंगे
audience
और
side.
वहाँ के बैडमिंटन खेलेंगे और
हाँ,
फुटबॉल भी
Football too.
खेलेंगे.
Okay.
हाँ, yes, sir. अब अलग
Yes,
अलग ground भी हो गया है, sir.
yes, yes.
Okay, sir.
Next time, whenever I come, I will definitely come.
Sure, sir.
Yes, yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much,
Thank you
sir.
all, and please convey my regards to all the teachers there. And I hear a lot of good things about the teachers now there, and it's good to hear that. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Thank you,
you.
sir.
Have a great day, sir.
You too.
Have a great day, sir.
Good night. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night.